Hey, folks. Sorry, adjusting the lights here a little bit. Let's see how this works. Maybe a little better. Need to work on this. Definitely not a lighting expert, but I'll work on that. Hey, it's Mark Kelly with Marketing Can Work's daily YouTube live, 9 a.m., 15 minutes from Monday through Friday, where we talk about marketing stuff and how to grow your business. I'm Mark. I own Inbound Revenue, but I'm not here to sell you anything. Here to talk about how marketing can work in your business. And one of the things I want to talk to you about today is numbers that you need to know from a marketing perspective for your business. Oh, by the way, remember that marketing is just like the cream in your coffee. It touches everything in your business. It's not just a thing that you do. It's part and parcel of your coffee. You can't sip it without getting some cream. You can't run your business without marketing being every part of it. I've got my notes. Let's roll. So I'm going to talk today about some key numbers. Oftentimes when you talk to marketers, your eyes glaze over with things like, the cost per click or the impression rate or, things like that. I'm going to talk about fundamental business numbers that you should know. I'm going to start with one first that's out of my area of expertise, but I'm going to start with it for a reason, and that's your profit margin. Everyone knows that all the work that you do, all the revenue that you generate, all the bills that you pay are designed in the end. Wait, let me check something. I forgot. I have to check my mic here to see if I'm actually on this thing, because sometimes it chooses the wrong mic for me. I don't have access. Let's see. I wonder if you can hear me. I'll find out in a second. Let's find out if you can hear me. Because unfortunately, this part of technology. Hey, you can, because I can hear me. Sorry about that little technical glitch. So we're going to talk about numbers in your business. We're going to start with profit margin. I'm not an accountant. Your accountant should be the one who's talking to you about your profit margin. Every type of business has a different profit margin, but obviously what you want to do is maximize it. Grocery stores are like 2%. Newspapers used to be 30%. Of course, now they're 0%. Marketing agencies typically in the 30% range, some lower, some higher. Your profit margin is a huge number to know. The one thing that I'll say about profit margin, because again, I'm not an accountant, not my area of expertise, but additional revenue can boost your profit margin. Oh, well, that makes sense. Not necessarily, because if your profit margin is 15%, you think, well, I'm making 15% of $1 million. If I go to 2 million, I'll make 15% of 2 million. Not necessarily so. And I'll tell you why. Because you have two types of expenses. Typically, you've got your fixed costs, you've got your variable costs. Your fixed costs are what it costs you to pay your mortgage, what it costs to pay your insurance, what it costs to pay electric. Let's say it's pretty reasonable. It's pretty much the same amount every month. So you've got all these fixed costs. You have to pay them whether you make $1 or not, or you're not in business. So you might have $10,000 a month in fixed costs, the software that you subscribe to, things of that nature. Then you've got your variable costs. The variable costs only go up and down based on how much business you're doing, for example, how much gas you're running in your trucks, how many contractors you bring on board, how many employees you hire, how many supplies you have to buy. And those are variable costs because they're going to vary based on the amount of work that you're doing. Well, the fixed costs are always going to be the same. So if you raise your revenue higher, your fixed costs don't typically change. Your revenue is now higher, so you should make more profit on that additional revenue because the only thing that you have to factor in is your variable costs. That's all you have to control. So keep that in mind. Additional revenue should raise your profit margin if you're running efficiently. So let's talk about some of the key metrics to know. I think the most important metric that a business owner needs to know and doesn't often is the average lifetime value of a client. Average lifetime value of a client. So the average lifetime value of a client is essentially taking 100 clients, let's say you have 100 clients. Let's take the top 2 clients that spend a whole bunch of money with you and aren't representative of typical. Let's take the top 5 clients. Let's take the bottom 5 clients. Throw them out. There's 90 clients that are left. Over the lifetime of working with them, whether you do a one-time transaction like a roof job, or you do a series of transactions like cut their hair, mow their lawn, landscape their yard, do fall cleaning, spring cleaning. Add all those up. Add all 90 of them up. How much have they spent with you over the lifetime of their engagement with your business? Divide that number by 90. So you got a total sum, you divide it by the number of clients. That's your average lifetime value of a client. Now, if you know your profit margin, you can take the average lifetime value of a client, multiply it times profit margin, and you'll know the profit you should expect to generate off of each client. Is it 100% accurate? Of course not. What number is 100% accurate? But it's a real good guide. Now you not only know the lifetime value of a client, now you not only know how much profit you're likely to make off a client, you can think about it in terms of, okay, this client, if I get a new client, I'm going to generate $1,000 in profit. I'm going to generate $10,000 in profit, whatever it is. Now you can think, oh, well, how much do I want to spend to acquire a client? What's it worth? If I'm spending more than I'm making, you got a problem. So lifetime value of a client is huge. I bring this up because lots of times I ask people lifetime value of the client, and they say, every client's different. Yes, that's why it's the average lifetime value of a client. Take 90 of them, take 100 of them, take 1,000 of them, take 10 of them, average it out, find out how much that is. That's a key number. Okay, the other key numbers for you, and there's a lot we could get into, but I'm going to focus on a couple. And the next one I'm going to focus on is your conversion rate for the leads that you have coming in. Or your close rate, let's call it, because I think this is an essential number to know because it speaks to the health of your business, your lead flow, and your sales process. Are there lots of other numbers to know, like cost per lead, how many leads? Yes, but we're going to focus on 2 things: lifetime value of a client and close rate. Close rate, because if you measure your close rate, you get a sense of what your lead flow has to be to generate that new client and generate that new lifetime value. So you get 10 leads come in, and you close 1 of them, you've got a 10% close rate. Now you know something. I need 10 leads to get 1. You're like, well, I should be able to close more than 10. Okay, what's your problem? Is your problem that you're getting crappy leads? Is your problem your sales process? Is your problem your follow-up? What's the problem there? So now all of a sudden you've got a number, and what is one of the key mantras of process improvement? And everything in your business is process improvement all the time. One of the key mantras is measured, process, improve. So now I know the lifetime value of a client. Now I'm tracking my close rate. I can know that I'm closing at a high rate. I'm closing at 30%. Good number. I'm closing at 3%. Bad number. Some people tell me they've got a 70, 80% close rate. When they tell me that, they're patting themselves on the back. I close 80% of my deals. Okay, there's a couple of things going on there. If you close that high, you're either not getting enough leads because you're only going after the very best leads and you're limiting yourself. Get some more leads. Get some junk in there. It's okay to have some junk sometimes. If you don't have some junk in your lead flow, you're not trying hard enough. You're not getting out there in front of enough people, or your prices are too low. If you're closing at 70%, honestly, it sounds great, but you're probably not getting enough leads. You're probably underselling yourself. So all of these numbers, just those 2 alone that I gave you, well, 3 if you throw in profit margin, those 2 numbers alone, lifetime value of a client and close rate, can open your eyes as to the effectiveness of your offering, your marketing, your sales process, whether your business has the potential to be successful or not. So just focus on those 2 things. Now, let's say that your close rate is low. It's not necessarily your marketing person's fault, whether they're sitting in the corner, whether they're a contractor, whether it's you, or whether it's an agency that you've hired. You really got to look at what your sales process is. How fast do I get back to these people? Do I answer my phone? Do I answer my phone appropriately? Am I answering it friendly? Am I responsive and able to get back to people quickly? If I get a form, do I respond to it quickly? And then another thing I'm going to talk about in terms of your close rate is where are those leads going when they come in? Do you have one place that all those leads go from, all the various sources that they come in? Because it's not just Google ads or Facebook ads. It's your organics, it's your social, it's referrals, it's people that passed your business on the street. Do you have one place to track them and then move them through your sales funnel? Oh, here's an initial lead. It's qualified. It's, appointment set up, sold, boom. Now all of a sudden you can track it end to end, and you not only know how much sales potential you have in your funnel, but you know that important number. How many of these did I close? Now that I know that, and I know the lifetime value of my client, I can really look at the numbers and determine how to rev the marketing engine up. We have something called Inbound Revenue Rocket, which allows you to track every lead that comes in. This is my only plug for inbound revenue, but if you're not using us, use something where you're tracking those leads. Write them on a piece of freaking paper if you have to, but there's lots of software out there to do this so that you're tracking that. It's essential. I know as a business owner, you get caught up in the daily details of running your business, talking to the clients, talking to your staff, fighting with insurance companies, whatever it is. I know that you do that, but these are essential everyday metrics that you have to track in order to grow. And the only thing I want to see you do, and the only reason I do these videos or YouTube lives every day at 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday, is because I want to see your businesses grow and succeed. I don't want business owners sitting at home anymore stressing every night about making payroll on Monday, about whether the client's going to be, happy, whether that check's going to come in. I'm just here to help you get over the hump in your business and start to run it like a business so you can have freedom of, you can have freedom of time, freedom of mind, freedom of revenue. So that's it for today. Thank you folks so much. And I appreciate the time that we've had. And I'm going to jump off of here and let you go on about your day.